This video will cover the topic, translating the graph of an absolute value function, 2 steps. Remember that translation is taking an original function and moving it a certain amount of spaces vertically and horizontally. It may also involve stretching or compressing the original function by a certain factor. This video will show us how to take a given absolute value graph and translate it to create a new function. Let's take a look at a given graph. Below is the graph of y equals the absolute value of x. Translate it to make it the graph of y equals the absolute value of x plus 4 minus 3. Do you remember what we look for when translating vertically and horizontally?
I remember that if there is a number added directly to the x inside the absolute value, then this means that the graph moves to the left the number of places that was added to x, and if a number is subtracted in the absolute value, then the graph moves to the right that number of places, right?
Yes. And what about vertical translations?
If there is a number added to the whole function outside the absolute value, then the graph moves vertically upward the number of places that was added, and it moves downward if there was a number subtracted outside the absolute value.
Yes, you got it. That means you will already know how to translate this function. Based on your knowledge of translation, how would we translate this?
It looks like this graph moves 4 units to the left and 3 units downward.
You're right. Once this graph is in its new location, its function will be y equals the absolute value of x plus 4 minus 3. Here is a picture of the new graph. We can see here that the point 0, 0 was moved 4 units to the left and 3 units downward to the point -4, -3. And Alex, you would click on 0, 0 and drag the whole graph to its new location.
Cool. Just as a refresher, anything added or subtracted to x inside of the absolute value bars corresponds to a horizontal translation, and anything added or subtracted outside of the absolute value bars corresponds to a vertical translation.
Great explanation.